my poor kids have been asking me daily when the parts are going to come in so they can ride the bike again. So shows you what a success it was to have that thing running for a while. These are the parts that came in. Like I said, I went with generic parts, so that way if it breaks in the future, I can just replace with whatever I want. So this is a on-off switch meant for any motorcycle. Pretty easy there. This is our throttle control, which I'm assuming is pretty universal. We'll find out in the near future here as we're setting it up. Let's go ahead and get started. I did get it mostly taken apart the other day. I did want to find what parts I really needed, so I did start disassembling it. This was fairly easy, just popped off the grip, and this came apart. Had some zip ties going all the way down here. I removed the cover that was covering the motor controller. So we'll kind of start from there. Let's start with this on-off switch. So on is towards you, off is away, and we'll go ahead here. Let's get these lined up. Pretty easy to get it at least mounted. We'll get that started. Next thing we're going to want is the throttle. So stick this on. I haven't test fitted this, so I hope it works. Oh yeah. Just an Allen screw right here. Nice snug fit. There we go. Then tighten it up. Well, we have the easy part done. We have them mounted. So as we're going here, let's go ahead and zip tie these in place. This is kind of what they had originally, so I'm just kind of copying that. What this is going to do is going to help us decide where we're actually going to have the connections, because these wires aren't really long enough to make it to the controller. So we'll have to splice the wires into the original loom at some point. We are going to splice into this original wire just because the other ones aren't long enough. Let's go ahead and terminate that. Same with this guy right here. Let's line them up. We want them to all be about the same length. That way we can make our connections. So the one thing that is missing is we don't have the charge indicator just yet. But that's something that I think I'm going to mount up here and take down the wires down here anyway, so it doesn't have to be in here. We'll see. We'll revisit that in a minute. We're not going to be able to go by colors on this one. Obviously, these parts weren't really meant to go on this bike, so we're just going to have to figure out what all of these are individually. Luckily, on the connectors down here, well, if I can get this undone, it shows you this is 2-put. So I think that's the throttle controller, is 2-put. And then we have this connector right here is the indicator. So the indicator, we're not going to worry about just yet. It's the green wire. The on-off switch, that's going to be pretty obvious. That is, right here it says power locks, which that doesn't sound right, but whatever. So we know that brown and yellow are going to be for our power switch. So those can be these guys right here. We'll connect them to the brown and yellow leads. I don't think that polarity really matters on this, so we'll go ahead and solder these in place. When it comes to the motor controller, I mean, the only thing we do know is that this green wire is the charge indicator, so we don't want to use that. On this one, we have green, red, and black. On this one, we have black, white, and red. So let's go ahead, trial and error. And let's try, I'm not going to solder them just yet because I don't know if this is going to work. We'll go, the colors that correspond, we'll go ahead and actually connect those together. Those go together. And then red with red, black with black. Okay, here's our moment of truth. Now, I should be able to put in 2 batteries. And it shouldn't do anything because the switch is off. Okay, so far so good. Now when I turn it on, the wheel shouldn't spin. Okay, that's good. Well, we got lucky there. But yeah, apparently everything's working just fine. Turn off the switch. There we go. Everything's good. Now it's just going to be a matter of buttoning it all up. Ready to solder them up. You'll notice that I am using heat shrink on everything. That's nice to make sure that you don't short anything out. Also, if you happen to not do the best job on soldering, it will kind of hold those connections together in a worst case scenario. So it has that nice benefit too. Purely out of curiosity, I wanted to see what the indicator voltage was to be able to see what kind, if I was going to tap into the existing wires, what kind of voltage I should expect. Okay. So, interestingly enough, it displays actual volts, not a 12-volt system. So, yeah, that's good to know. So, luckily I did order a display gauge that would go all the way from 0 to 60 volts. So we'll be covered. And that way we'll be able to hook that up when it comes in.
And as always, we'll finish up with the test ride. Looks like it's going well.